Insanity, whatever happened to humanity?
Catch the Fair One. It's a 2021 American thriller film that has been written, directed, and produced by Joseph Kubota. Man, I'm a while off the mark. A Native American boxer embarks on the fight of her life when she goes undercover in a sex trafficking operation to seek answers and revenge against the men responsible for the disappearance of her younger sister. Now, when it comes to revenge cycle films, a lot of them is very similar when it comes to the delivery, the purpose, and even the character dialogue. But with this movie, what is done right is the character development. The character development of this film is very different. They wanted to focus the aspect of us seeing how the main character struggles in their own way, which is Kaylee's character that's played by Kaylee Reis. No one could have done what she did. In fact, I think she has pulled her weight better than most majority of revenge films out there, and that is saying a lot. But that's because it forces you to be in the shoes of her character, to see her struggles, to see her ups and downs, and just to see the vision of how she deals with things when she's under pressure. Because when the movie starts off, it shows her preparing and just doing fights and just getting in the hinges of just trying to prepare herself to find her little sister no matter what the cause is. And I like that, especially when it comes to her working a minimum wage job just so she can survive in the process, just in case if things doesn't work out. She goes through a lot more than that. I don't want to spoil it, but the struggles that she goes through really does pull you in when it comes to the pacing and the character development with her main character. Speaking of that, by me explaining that in that way, the movie does not really drag at all with the character development, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Now, when the movie starts off, like the first half of the film, she's already got a lead and she's already about to be sold off as bait to be like, you know, one of the sex trafficking females just so she can find her sister. But at the same time, it lacks character development. I was kind of wishing they could show us more of the side scenarios of her character, like between her and her sister. Other than us knowing that her sister is out there and she needs to find her, the only thing that pulls us in by us hoping that she finds her sister is the fact that she's young and she's cute. That is it. Other than that, there is really nothing for us to get attached to. Name one character other than Kaylee Reis' character that will pull you in and make you feel the character's motives. You can't, because every single character on here falls flat with the delivery of the character development and the pacing as well. Even with her mom. Now, they show you a little scene by her mom being into therapy and just trying to get over the loss of her daughter, if she believes that her daughter is dead. But they kind of show you Kaylee's characteristics of the bond of her mom and the daughter, and I believed it. I felt like it bought me in, but at the same time I couldn't afford it because it wasn't enough for me to feel the gravitation of what they was expressing, even especially when she was saying that you wish it was me that was missing instead of my sister, because the stuff that she has done in the past, and I don't know what she's done in the past. Only thing I've known was the fact that she was into drugs, because as soon as the mom sees her, she thought that she needed money because she thought she was going to use it for drugs. That was it. I felt like they kind of done that just so you can feel like there was a bad blood between them two, but I feel like this movie should have been more longer, more lengthier, because this movie is less than 2 hours long, an hour and 25 minutes. And I feel like if this movie was 30, maybe 2 hours long, and they focus more on the pacing of the mother character and the sister character, so when things end up happening, I'll be pulled in even more instead of just the main character itself. Now, if that's not disappointing enough, I have to talk about the combat. Now, the movie does right when it comes to the main character's motives and her intentions, and when it comes to the boxing methods. But what kind of disappointed me the most was the fact that by her fighting, by her using her wits and her, her strategic will to fight, and just by her boxing. I wanted to see how she was going to interact when it comes to her fighting people that was getting in the way of her revenge. And I thought that was going to be perfect, because when it comes to revenge films, I wanted to see the difference between these. The difference between Taken, John Wick, and all the other revenge cycle films. How is this going to play out? And they had that potential by her being a boxer, because John Wick is not a boxer. Liam Neeson is not a boxer. All the other people that do these revenge films are not really boxers, so they had the potential here, but it falls flat because whenever she gets in contact with the guys that's involved in the disappearance of her sister, she used weapons. She used a gun, or she used torture maneuvers. And I felt like that was cheap. That was unnecessary, especially if you was teasing us of her being a boxer in the first place. What was the point of us seeing those scenes? And what was the point? And I'm sorry, but what was the point of Kaylee Reis being the main character if she's not going to be using her boxing maneuvers to the enemies? That was a major flaw in my opinion, and it just it ruined the whole creative taste of this film, standing out there to be compared with John Wick and with the Taken films, and at the same time with the Riders of Justice, which stands out still. But at the same time, this film on the second half disappointed me with when it comes to the delivery of what this character would do when she gets under pressure. So to make sense, the first half of the film, the pacing with the main character, great, flawless. I believed every single word, but it falls flat with the side characters when you get introduced with the mother and the daughter. And it also falls flat with the second half of the film when it comes to the delivery of combat maneuvers and with the creativity of how the character is going to defend himself when it comes to her being under pressure or at the heat of death. All I'm going to say is this: if you have not seen Taken or John Wick for some good goddamn reason, and you've seen this film, you may like it. You may like it a lot. But the reason why I'm comparing those two is because if you have seen those and you want to see this one, give it a pass, because those films honestly have done it a lot better when it comes to all those aspects, especially the pacing. I'm going to have to give Catch the Fair One a C-. Yeah, even though I've seen this film and I've noticed this film through a streaming website, what really pulled me in the most was the fact that I've seen a trailer and it showed mostly of the combat maneuvers of Kaylee Reis' character. They showed more of her boxing than anything. I think it's because they knew that if they showed more of the combat maneuvers of her shooting people and torturing people on a trailer, it would have mostly of the John Wick and the Taken aspect ripped off the rug and people wouldn't watch it that much. So they knew what they was doing. My question is, if you knew what you had there, why not expand it? Why not show it off? That's one of my only complaints. And not only that, but the movie should have been more lengthier for me to be more intertwined with the characters. But to be fair, the John Wick lacked that also, because even though we was supposed to care about the dog, we was more caring about the revenge cycle of John Wick and to see how he would succeed. Because with John Wick, the movie starts off kind of the same way as Catch the Fair One, but difference is John Wick didn't really have no character development. It was just him and his wife. With Catch the Fair One, they want you to feel what she's feeling when it comes to the connection with the mom and the daughter. I keep saying daughter and the sister. But it falls flat. It's hard for you to squeeze all that in with an hour and 30-minute movie. It should have been longer than that. And this film is a prime example of that. Well, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for more of my upcoming reviews and videos. Hit it your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and you guys have a good day.